Welcome back. So let's play a bit more with the toolbar and let's try and add it as its own component so that we can start manipulating things inside it as its own little frame of information, right? We don't want this to be mixed with the entire page. We just want the toolbar, the purple part up here, to be its own little component. How do we do that? Well, the Angular CLI tool has a way for us to generate new components. We can write ng generate component, or for short we can write ng g component for generate component, right? So I'll grab this one, and then the name of the component would be, for instance, top dash my toolbar, like this, or minus sign, I can't remember what that's called. So we'll copy this guy, put it inside. Well, remember, you need to do a git checkout version 5 here to get to my code. So when that is done, you can go in and see ng commit ng g component, then we'll call it top and we'll call it toolbar just to put in some name. I'll press enter, and it'll generate a new set of files for me, which is, let's just try and refresh the page here. Is that we have now a top toolbar folder here. We have a top toolbar folder that has a CSS file, an HTML file, a test file that we need to start using soon, but not yet, and a TS file for actually the TypeScript. So we have the exact same setup as we did with our old component here, but now we have it as its own toolbar. Now notice the first part of the name is CP dash. That was what we did in the last videos. And then top toolbar. Okay, so now we have our toolbar ready, and let's move the code from the HTML here, because we don't want this code to be in here. So I'm going to grab it from the app component HTML. I'm going to put it inside the HTML toolbar instead of this default value. Now the title is not available yet. So for now, we're just going to grab the title from the app component TS. The title should not belong here. That's what I said. We don't want it to be mixed together. I want the title to be in the toolbar. So let's get away from app component and put it into our toolbar component, right? So I'm just going to paste that in here. Okay, now we have our own component. And the last thing we need to move is, again, we don't want to clutter our CSS inside the app component with information about the toolbar, so let's move that into its own information set as well. Isn't that lovely? Now we kind of split up everything into its own file here, right? A file set. What else happened behind the scenes? When you actually did this create, you also actually created a few imports, or a single import inside the app module here. So inside the app module, the app module, you actually ended up importing a new top toolbar component. Guess what? That's the component we just made. Top toolbar component, right? So that was imported now into your app module. And now the app module needs it as a declaration to use it. So here we're explaining to the app module we're going to use the top toolbar component. It's now available for use. So let's try and use it right away. We'll go back to the app component and we'll now add CP for our setup, and then look, it automatically helps us. CP top toolbar. Let's save this, and you'll notice not a lot have changed because the toolbar is still here. But now it's its own component. Notice how much smaller this already went from being a lot of lines, and now they are moved and hidden inside the toolbar. So now we have a toolbar component, our first real component. I'm so excited. Good job, everyone. Next, let's try and add some buttons. Let's try and add some a title from the outside. Let's try and play around with this toolbar a little bit. See you next time.